The future of America. What if I told you that America might not fall with a bang, but with a whisper, not through bombs, but through boredom, not through war, but through forgetting who it was in the first place, the most powerful country in the world, and yet something feels off. We don't talk about it much, but deep down, everyone senses it. The cracks, the fatigue, the confusion. And no, this isn't just politics. This is something way bigger, way deeper, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. By 2035, America might look completely different. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Artificial intelligence might be running more of your life than your government. Your job? Gone. Your bank? Digitized. Your identity? Algorithmically filtered. Even your friends? Chosen by what you scroll, not what you feel. But here's the scariest part. Most of this has already started, and nobody agreed to it. We thought we were building a smarter future, but somehow the future started building us. Right now, teens are more anxious than any generation before. They trust no one. Not schools, not media, not parents, not themselves. The average American attention span is shorter than ever. Loneliness is breaking records, and nobody's sure what's real anymore. The American dream? Most people don't even dream anymore. They just cope. So, what is the future of America? Will it rise again as the center of progress, or collapse under its own weight? Is this just a rough chapter in a bigger story, or the beginning of the final rewrite? Let's look at what's really coming, because what happens in America won't stay in America. They said technology would make life easier, and they were right. Until easier started meaning you don't matter. In the next 10 years, artificial intelligence is set to replace millions of jobs in the US. Not factory work, not basic tasks, but everything. Writers, designers, lawyers, teachers, even doctors. It won't happen all at once. It'll happen quietly. You'll wake up one morning and realize the world moved on. Without you. You won't lose your job to a robot. You'll lose it to a system that learns faster than you ever could and never sleeps. No health insurance, no sick days, just pure, relentless efficiency. And at first, it'll look exciting. AI doing your homework, AI editing your photos, AI writing your emails. But then, it'll start choosing what you see, what you think, who you talk to, what you believe. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and ask, how much of me is actually me? Because once everything is personalized, nothing feels personal. By 2035, America might lead the world in AI. But here's the question. If machines are thinking for us and corporations are training the machines, then who's really in control? You? Or something you'll never see, but always obey? Technology was supposed to set us free, but now it follows you, listens to you, profiles you, and makes you think you asked for it. This isn't science fiction. This is your future inbox, your next job interview, your daily feed. And the most terrifying part? It doesn't need to take over by force. You'll invite it in because it will feel easy, comfortable, safe, and that's exactly how freedom dies. Once upon a time, America was held together by belief, not in God, not even in government, but in each other. That's gone now. By 2035, the biggest threat to America might not be China, not AI, not even climate collapse. It's something quieter, disconnection, not just from truth, but from each other. Because the truth is no longer something we share. It's something we choose. Two Americans can live in the same country, same city, same street, and believe they live in two different realities. One sees progress, the other sees collapse. One sees oppression, the other sees opportunity. One sees the future, the other wants the past back. But no one sees each other anymore. We live in algorithmic bubbles, endless echo chambers, curated outrage, personalized enemies. We don't talk. We post. We don't argue. We block. We don't think. We react. And what's worse, we're starting to like it that way. Because real conversations are hard. Real unity takes effort. And rage is addictive. Rage sells. Rage spreads. By 2035, America may not be a country. It may be a million disconnected simulations. Each citizen trapped in their own curated version of What's really going on? Truth becomes theater, facts become feelings, and meaning becomes optional. So here's the question no one wants to ask. Can a nation survive if no one agrees it exists? You can survive a war. You can survive a recession. But when people stop believing in the story dies. And America is running out of story. For decades, America sold the same promise. Work hard, be patient, and you'll make it. But now, people are working harder than ever and falling behind faster than ever. By 2035, the American economy might still be the biggest. But that doesn't mean it will feel that way. Because size means nothing if you own nothing. Let's talk numbers. The U.S. national debt is past $34 trillion. That's not a statistic. That's a warning. The average American can't afford an emergency, can't afford a home, can't afford to stop. Student debt, medical debt, credit card debt. It's not a life, it's a leash, and it's tightening. Meanwhile, the top 1% keeps rising, not slowly, explosively. One man can buy a company. One woman can buy a city. And you rent your future from people you'll never meet. The middle class, once the pride of America, is evaporating. Not vanishing overnight, just dying quietly, paycheck by paycheck. Job by job, dream by dream. And here's the trick. You're told it's your fault. You should have worked harder. You should have saved more. You should have learned to code. But the game is rigged, and the board keeps shifting. By 2035, automation will cut millions of jobs. Housing will be a luxury. Ownership will be rare. And for most people, freedom will mean not drowning. The American economy isn't collapsing. It's evolving into something colder, more efficient, less human. A machine that rewards the lucky and forgets the rest. So here's the question. What happens to a country when most of its people feel economically useless? Not poor, unneeded. You can survive poverty. You can fight against injustice. But when a person starts to believe they don't matter, that's when nations die from the inside out. There was a time when America didn't just lead the world. It was the world, the center of gravity, the final word, the dream factory. But empires rarely fall overnight. They erode, not from an explosion, but from silence. The silence of others no longer listening, no longer needing, no longer fearing. By 2035, America might still have the strongest military, the loudest media, the richest companies, but power isn't about size anymore. It's about speed, data, trust, and trust is leaking fast. China is no longer the future. It's the present, a digital superstate, merging technology, production, and control into something America can't even copy. Because America was built on freedom, China was built on obedience, and in a world that's addicted to efficiency, obedience is winning. America used to export culture. Now it exports chaos, political theater, mass shootings, outrage for breakfast, a place where billionaires fly to space while teachers buy their own chalk. Allies are still there, but they're watching, not following. And enemies, they've learned something. America doesn't need to be destroyed. It just needs to be distracted. By 2035, the U.S. could be a giant in decline, loud, proud, but unsure who it even is anymore. Still swinging, but not always landing. And the question no one wants to ask, what if the world moves on, without America at the center? What if global leadership no longer requires English? What if innovation no longer begins in Silicon Valley? What if the land of the free becomes the land of forgotten relevance? Because real power isn't about being feared, it's about being needed. And the world is learning to need less from America. Once, the U.S. saved Europe, landed on the moon, invented the internet, led revolutions in music, tech, and thought. But now it struggles to fix its own roads, its own people, its own story. By 2035, America must decide, will it double down on dominance or rediscover leadership? Will it isolate or evolve? Because the empire may not collapse in flames. It may simply be replaced, quietly, efficiently, permanently. And the saddest part, it won't even make the headlines. So now we ask, after all the power, the machines, the dollars, the noise, what's left? What is America without the dream? A flag, a business, a memory. You can measure decline in numbers, but real collapse is felt in the spirit, in the silence between people, in the emptiness behind the eyes, in the quiet acceptance that maybe this is just how things are now. By 2035, it's possible America won't fall. It'll keep going. The lights will stay on. The content will keep coming. The systems will still run, but something deeper may vanish. Something that never made it to the GDP charts. Meaning, because when a nation forgets what it believes in, when its people stop seeing each other as people, when hope becomes cringe and cynicism becomes wisdom, that's not survival. That's sleepwalking. A country can have everything, tech, guns, music, memes, and still lose its soul. So, can America be saved? Maybe, but not by politicians, not by billionaires, not by AI. If it happens, it'll be slower than collapse, quieter than protest, and more powerful than both. It'll be one person looking at another and choosing to care. One moment of honesty in a sea of performance. One voice saying, "We're not finished yet." Because the future of America was never written in its past. It's being written right now by people who still believe that there's something here worth saving, even if no one else does.